If you've ever Googled your symptoms and ended up a lot more confused than you were at the beginning, this is why. The reason diagnoses are so difficult for people to nail down sometimes isn't that they're complicated or difficult cases, they are, but it's that the same symptoms appear across completely different diagnoses. And the system treats that like an inconvenience instead of actually vitally important information. I want to show you how that looks in practice because I think it's keeping people stuck. Take hypervigilance, constantly scanning for danger, reading every room, unable to fully relax. That's listed as a core CPTSD symptom. It's also a well-documented autism response to unpredictable social and sensory environments. And it shows up frequently in anxiety disorders. So if you come in with hypervigilance and a clinician is looking for CPTSD, guess what? They're going to find it. If they're looking for autism, guess what? They're going to find it. The symptom didn't change, the lens did. And whatever label you walk out of there with is going to shape your experience and treatment. Same thing with emotional dysregulation. It's central to CPTSD. It's central to ADHD. It's one of the defining features of BPD. Those are three very different disorders with three very different treatment pathways. And they all share this symptom. So if you get a BPD diagnosis based on emotional dysregulation, you might spend years in DBT working on stress tolerance. But if the root is actually unprocessed trauma, stress tolerance alone isn't going to touch it. You need something that goes beneath that behavior, not just manages it. And then there's this one, which I think is the most misunderstood of them all. Feeling fundamentally worthless or defective. In CPTSD, this comes from internalized shame, the message your environment gave you about your own value. In BPD, it's often framed as unstable self-image. In depression, it shows up as cognitive distortion. Three different explanations for the same lived experience. And here's where the diagnosis confusion does the real damage. Because if you're told this is a mood symptom, you might get put on medication. If you're told it's a personality feature, you might get handed a workbook. But if it's actually rooted in trauma, what it needs is to be processed. Not managed, not reframed, processed. This is why I keep saying the label matters less than the underlying cause. The same symptom can have completely different roots, and the root is what determines what actually helps. Chasing the exact right diagnosis without asking what's underneath, that's how people end up in the system for years without getting better. Save this and tell me in the comments, have you ever been given a treatment that didn't work and later realized that it might have been the wrong diagnosis driving it? Because your answers are really driving this series, and I really appreciate your participation. As always, you're not alone, you're not broken.